For this tabletop review, I'm going to be taking a look at another product by Strike Industries. This is the second product by Strike Industries I've reviewed. The first one was their ambidextrous selector switch with different levers. If you haven't watched that, definitely go back and watch that. Now this particular item is what Strike Industries calls their ultimate dust cover. So this is a replacement dust cover for your AR-15 upper receiver. There are several designs, as you can see portrayed on the front of this box here. You've got a standard dust cover. You've got a dust cover with a flag on it, or somewhat of a stylized American flag. You have this design with these little cuts in the top of the going along the top of the dust cover, and this is called Capsule. And then the last one is Don't Tread on Me. It's got some wording or some verbiage. It says Don't Tread on Me on it. This is the packaging that it ships in, and on the back, let's see, talks about the push pin for quick attachment or detach, an adjustable set screw pin for wear compensation. There's a fitted internal lip that creates a true seal, low reflection black coated spring and pin, L-shaped spring for easy installation, and reinforced hinge pin for strength. Okay, so let me go ahead and take this out of the box and we'll take a look at what's inside. Okay, this is more or less all that's inside the package, is this polymer dust cover inside a little plastic bag. So you can see right here, this is a spring-loaded pin. So the installation of this and the removal of this should be fairly easy. This pin is fixed, and then of course there's the spring, and the mention of the spring was that there's a little L-shaped hook on it right there for easy installation. Now they don't provide any installation instructions. I'm definitely going to try and install this on video. So I believe we would tweak that spring down and pop this into place. So on this particular design, that's a roll pin right there, and I'm not sure what set screw they were talking about. I don't see a set screw. Anyway, well, let's just move on. This particular one has these little stylized cuts in it, and I went ahead and got this one. I didn't really care for the other designs. With this one, I was I'm gonna put some color on this. I'm gonna do a little bit of color fill on this and see if I can be creative and see what it'll look like. There's also a Strike Industries little etched logo down there as well. The back side of this, obviously you can see the lip right here that creates a tight seal on your upper receiver, and then that's a little ball bearing, a captured ball bearing right there. This appears to be a injection molded polymer design. It's very nicely made from what I can see. It's finished very well, and it is fairly strong. I can bend it just a little bit. Now from Strike Industries website, they call this a quick disconnect dust cover. Of course, the internal lip for better sealing. It's polymer in design. It will not corrode, rust, or fade, and it will not deform or bend. and it says it has an adjustable detent screw. Now, maybe that's not a roll pin right there. I can't. It's so teeny. Maybe it's a really teeny screw. I can't tell, because that's the only thing on here that looks like it could possibly be a screw. There's basically no other screws on here. So anyway, let me grab an upper receiver, and we'll take a look at how this installs and what it looks like. All right, I have a stripped upper receiver by itself. It does already have an ejection door installed, which I'm going to remove, and here's the Strike Industries. I did take a look at the markings on this a little bit, and of course you can color fill this. I couldn't really come up with some way of color filling this without putting too much color. So since there's a Strike Industries logo down in the little bottom corner right there, I color filled the logo in blue, and I'm going to leave it at that for this particular upper receiver. Now, the normally to remove your ejection doors, you're going to have this pin right here, and it's going to slide out this way. I believe there's, well, probably can't see this. There's a small little C-clip right here, and I believe if you can remove the C-clip, you can slide this out this way. I know I've done that before, but for this installation, since this isn't, there's no barrel on this, I can just slide this out in this direction. And I'm sorry, I'm taking it off camera. When you're sliding this off to clear these threads, you have to kind of lift up on this or rotate the little C-clip out of the way so it doesn't hit the threads, and then you can go ahead and slide that out. And then you want to keep your hand over this because there is a spring that you want to make sure that you grab, and then your ejection door will come out. Okay, so if you're doing this on a new receiver, there's probably not a lot of cleanup work you need to do, but if you're doing this on a receiver that you fired, you might want to do a little bit of cleanup work. There might be some gunpowder residue and such on there. So, moving on. The Strike Industries ejection door did not come with any instructions, so there is this little L-hook spring, which I believe this is a spring that needs to be bent down. I'm sorry, I'll keep this in frame. You can see it right where my index finger is. There's this little L-shaped part of the spring, which I think you need to pull all the way over and hold down. And this is the spring that presses in. And let's try and keep this in frame. And can we do this? And push this in. Now, this isn't really a complicated procedure, but trying to keep it in frame of the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Well, anyway, how about this? We're going to insert one of the pins here, the one pin that isn't spring-loaded, and this one that is spring-loaded needs to be pressed in, and then the door needs to be pushed into place. And I cannot seem to do this on camera. Again, I've got to take it into my lap. Okay. Setting it in my lap, of course, always fixes the problem. You're holding that little spring right there, and you're pressing in that pin, and with the spring gives us a little bit of tension. And there you go. So not a complicated install, as long as you're not trying to do it on camera. And it's a nice looking door. It seals good, it fits good, it's very well constructed, it has a nice black spring on it. Pops open like it's supposed to, locks in place. Very, very nice ejection door, and it's a good upgrade on your rifle if you want to get if you need an ejection door, if you're building out an upper receiver that doesn't have something and you want to get a little fancier with your ejection cover, you can get one of these. And again, they've got several different styles. You know, if you don't like this one, there's several different ones to choose from. And they're relatively inexpensive. I don't remember exactly what I paid for this one. I'll put that in the comments section. I'll look up what I paid for this. Wasn't very expensive at all. So just one last look to make sure that I've got this in focus. Works well. So that's the ultimate dust cover made by Strike Industries.